Previously on the Novympia channel.
For once in your life. That's what.
And coming up.
Man, magic.
I find you very rude. The Novympia channel is made possible by our gorgeous patrons who get access to the most unappealing crap you'll find anywhere on the whole internet. Start the shit show.
Hello, and welcome to this Novympia treat starring your girls. Who are you?
What do you mean?
Have you farted?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
You have?
No, I haven't.
Yep. That's recording. That's recording.
I don't know why you're so obsessed with the idea that I would.
Because you do fart. You don't
but
ever
I
admit.
haven't.
You don't. One of these days.
I haven't just then.
It's over in Olympia here.
I thought it was like spooky season now, so I've got out some of the spooky things, and look how great my nails are.
Your
There we
nails
go.
are
Look at how great they are.
Primark nails, though, aren't they? So I wouldn't brag about that.
What have you come as?
Also, well, I look very, very sexual and sensual.
Just wearing a t-shirt.
No. The green and the orange, like if you weren't sure if it was Halloween, it's very like the theming in like a paintball kind of venue or laser tag. You would look insane in a laser tag venue because they'll light up.
Well, yeah, this is UV reactive.
And then they'll hit you with, what is laser tag? How does that work? They shoot you with a laser.
Yeah.
I hated that.
I used to love it.
No, it was fucking shit.
Quasar.
I did that at school once. I went on a school.
So fun.
But this kid fell over and hit his head on something, and I just stood there shooting his thing.
You're a bad person.
Yeah. And then someone found me and thought it was very morally reprehensible.
Well, yeah, it is. That's
yeah, but it's the only way I could
awful.
get points, so... Well, thanks to the patrón Nigeria for suggesting this. It's been suggested a bunch of times before. We're going to go through, and this will probably be volume 1 of several because...
I'm sure once we've done this, there's going to be a million comments, and also we're probably going to add to this as we go on.
Yeah, so get in the comments if there are any glaring ones that you think that we've forgotten. But we're going to cover the most kind of obvious ones. We put a post on Patreon and said, what are the most commonly used like Novympia references and clips and cutaways that we use but you have no idea what it is or you'd like a backstory on it.
Yeah.
You'll know by now if you've seen any of our videos, apart from maybe the parodies, where we do a shit ton of cutaways and it's always clips from, and I've broken these down into 4 categories.
Right.
Television, motion picture.
Is Kath and Kim its own category?
No, it's not. It's in television.
Right.
Miscellaneous and Novympia Original.
Miscellaneous?
Yes.
That's very broad.
Because it doesn't fall into TV or movie.
Okay.
So we're just going to go through them. There's quite a few. There were hundreds of suggestions for what we should do.
And hopefully you guys will find this very educational, very interesting.
It's so stupid.
Because we always get comments, oh my gosh, what is this clip from? What is this from? And so on and so forth.
Well, we're going to start with the TV section because it's the longest and most obvious. And the first one is Lisa Scott Lee. Let's just get her out of the way.
Love you, Lisa.
Lace.
Go for it, Lisa.
Icicle Lisa.
Icicle Lisa.
The most sort of common thing that we reference from Lisa Scott Lee is a TV show that she did called Totally Scott Lee.
It is all on YouTube, available to watch.
It's a reality show that Lisa Scott Lee, who if you don't know, is a British pop star. She is a member of the band Steps.
Yes.
But she, after Steps originally broke up, she tried to go it alone, and she had a reality show there to bolster her career. It's very The Comeback. It's very that with
actually, that's
Lisa
very
Kudrow,
true,
all
but
the
with
Lisas,
music,
all the Lisas. And there's a very, very famous scene, we've parodied it, whereby she's finding out her chart position for the song Get It On. And she very famously thinks it's also hoping it's going to be top 10. Gets to number 23, and she goes, oh shit, that guy.
Shit, that guy.
Oh shit.
23.
Oh, that's really shit.
This one scene has provided us with so much kind of joy over the years. I think luckily she's now very okay with it. For a while,
I think she started to see like the funny side of it. But there's so many things that we quote from this show. The pair of us, along with Shah, will often just turn to each other and go, oh.
And his mum came for him. Oh.
Which is such a bastardization of the original quote as well, because that is actually our kind of morphed take from this clip.
Oh.
But that's not actually totally Scott Lee. That's just her going on Psychic Sally or whatever it is.
But it's so much softer, and then we've just like exaggerated it now, and Ashara especially will just go, oh.
So totally Scott Lee gives us that shit that guys.
No, it's shit that guys.
B-list at Capital.
Even B-list at Capital.
And also, come on, Nath.
Come on, Nath.
Which we do if someone's taking their sweet
and then,
time.
oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Sorry. Which is another one. Okay, so that's Lisa.
Oh, Lisa Scott Lee, the ice skater.
Oh, the ice skater. Oh, she's lovely.
Oh, wow. She's lovely. Lisa Scott Lee. I know her, the ice skater.
There's so many, because it's so fucking vanilla and shit. Anyway, so that's Lisa Scott Lee. Love you, Lise. So the other one, which is super, like, it permeates absolutely everything, is Kath and Kim.
Especially yourself and Olympia as a persona, as a personality.
Yes.
I think Kath and Kim runs very thick in Olympia's blood and Novympia's blood.
I essentially see myself as being a character within the Kath and Kim universe. I watch it from start to finish, from go to O.
My wedding to her father was a shocker from go to woe.
If you're not familiar with Kath and Kim, it is an Australian comedy TV series that aired in, the early noughties.
Years and years ago.
It's all on Netflix, at least in the UK.
If you go through and watch
you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is Novympia.
I hate you, Brett.
I hate you, Brett.
I hate you, Brett.
It's nice, it's different, it's unusual.
Oh, it's nice, it's different, it's unusual. We do quite a lot.
Parrots?
They're nice. Oh, they're nice.
They're nice,
They're
aren't they?
unusual.
Different.
They
Yeah,
are.
they're unusual. They're
different.
nice,
They are
they're
unusual.
But business class.
Lovely Yapoon pineapple.
This beautiful Yapoon pineapple.
Tuck tuck Mari. Tuck tuck Sade tea duck.
Business class.
Business class.
class.
It's something like that. The size of a
The size of a
House. Yeah.
Oh, your mother.
Oh, your mother?
If I could just make a speech here.
I just want to make a speech here.
And also, yeah, you look weird.
Yeah, you look weird.
That's just some of the
Have you
ones.
brushed your teeth?
Brush your teeth.
Your breath stinks. Have you cleaned your teeth?
That we say all the fucking time. And if we ever cut
There's
to...
probably loads more,
Oh, it'll
but
be hundreds.
you'll recognise now because we often put in the clips. And if you ever thought, who is this woman with the curly, like borderline
Perm.
afro hair?
Get out. Get out of my house.
Get out of my house!
That's Kath and Kim. That's where all that shit comes from. We're going to move on now to Most Haunted.
Oh my gosh, what? In my ear hole.
Down my ear hole.
It's literally just this one clip. And Most Haunted was a TV show that was kind of like celebrated and ridiculed with equal measure.
Yeah.
Because it was this one stupid bitch, Yvette Fielding.
Yeah.
And she would go to these supposedly haunted locations in the middle of the night with a crew. And it was sort of scary. It was very Ghost Watch, but it
Could have been great if it wasn't
so stupid.
Yeah, it became a bit too camp and a bit too naff when it really could have been a little bit more legit.
They did not know when to rein it in, especially the host Yvette. She would scream and shout all the time.
For fuck's sake, I'm not joking you. Please, let's get out.
And there's this one clip where she's sort of standing there, the camera's very close, and she goes, oh, I just heard someone just went, oh, like that down my ear hole.
Down my ear hole.
It becomes so unintentionally funny, and for years and years, Nova would just go, in my ear hole. It's just like the worst thing ever. So if you ever heard us do that, that's where it's from. It's from Most Haunted.
I feel like Rescue Mediums is probably a good one to do next because it's a similar genre.
Okay, well, yeah, we can talk about Rescue Mediums now. Which
This is also, or it was on
even
Netflix.
worse.
I don't know if it still is, but it was on Netflix. And this is a show, I think we've spoken about it before, about these two women who claim to be psychics or mediums. They're mediums. And they basically go to people's houses, people who think that their houses are haunted, and they help the spirits move on to
But weirdly
the next
enough,
place.
I feel like it's either America or Canada where the show is, but they're
These women are British.
painfully British, northern.
And you're right, they're in North America somewhere. And I feel
So
like maybe
so
that
weird.
gives them a bit more kind of credence because they're like, oh, they're British.
They're a bit kind of, I don't know, because in the UK they would just get laughed out the door. But there's one scene in particular that Meg Ann Robinson loves this show, and she cracks up because they take it so seriously. But there's one where Alison, who's the blonde one of the two, is being possessed, and she's holding onto this beam, and she just looks at Jackie and she goes,
Jackie, help me.
Jackie, help me. And the funny thing is, like, Jackie cannot, she very, very rarely reaches the same level of drama that Alison has. So Jackie would just reply and be like, all right, just calm down.
It's all right, just breathe.
Jackie, help me.
Okay, stay focused.
What do you want? It's just... So that's rescue mediums. Let's talk about 10 years younger and one episode in particular.
What are you talking about? You've got a fantastic bum.
Ah, show it off, girl.
I would think they weren't meant to be that tight.
Of course they are.
I would just think that my bum was too big for the trousers.
Oh, you've got a fantastic bum. Show it off, girl.
Oh, it's the Empire line.
Just
Because of the Empire line.
Which it's really fantastic because you're really flat-chested.
It's because you're really flat-chested.
What have you done to her? I said make her look 10 years younger, not 10.
Don't turn her into a child.
This episode of 10 Years Younger, which was a TV show, a light entertainment kind of like tea time show that used to air in the UK, where they take these poor fucking women who considered themselves to be dowdy and they couldn't dress. They'd give them a makeover.
And there's this South African woman, I cannot remember her name. Is it Nicola something?
It's Nikki Hambleton-Jones.
Right. Who... I don't understand how she got this show, because I understand at the time, like, Trini and Susanna really knew their shit and they were really on it at the time.
She was always shit.
But this woman was terrible.
She said, "What are you talking about? You've got a fantastic bum. Shut off, girl." And we were driving home once, weren't we? And we kept changing the words.
The pair of us with Shah, we always change it. Like, what are you talking about? You've got a fantastic cock. Shut it off, girl.
I've got a fantastic cock. Suck it off, girl. It was just the worst kind of like when your mind goes mad. So that's what that reference is, if you ever heard of that. Just a real quick one as well. If you've ever seen the clip, "How can I have no money? My husband's a bloody bank robber."
How can I have no money? My husband's a bloody bank robber.
That's from Birds of a Feather.
That's from a UK sitcom called Birds of a Feather. It was early, it might have been late 80s, certainly early 90s.
That's not one that I use. I never watched it, but you and Shah love it.
I don't know when I started using that, but any time there's a mention of money, I just thought that was the funniest thing, because she goes to an ATM and tries to take money out, and her husband's just gone to jail for armed robbery of a bank. And she's like, "No money. How can I have no money? My husband's..." And she storms off, "My husband's a bloody bank robber." There's a few from SNL that we need to talk about. The first one being one that people ask about all the time. Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That is such a tiny, tiny little clip, but it was like such a highlight for us on the entire sketch. This is Kate McKinnon doing Teresa Caputo, and it's just one tiny... I mean, that's not her saying... Who is that? That actress who actually
I can't remember her name, but we'll put it out.
Yeah. But she's just in... For those of you who don't know, Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium, she's another medium in Long Island.
We fucking love mediums, apparently.
And SNL did a parody of her, and she basically just starts harassing people, like saying, like, "Oh my gosh, you've got somebody standing beside you." They're taking the piss, and they approach this woman in the supermarket. And she goes, "Hi, I don't know if you know, but I'm a medium." She just goes, "Okay, yeah."
Okay, yeah. I think the joke is it's like Italian
It's just
New
so
Yorkers.
casual. Like, of course you're a medium. Like, yeah, okay, yeah.
But she's just shopping. Okay,
You're expecting to go like, a medium?
So,
what?
yeah, so if someone says something and you could consider it to be like, I don't know, if one of us just said like, "Oh, should we get takeout?" Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like, obviously, what's next kind of thing. That's where that comes from. There's also the Super Showcase.
Rhonda!
Congratulations, Deborah.
Oh my God, if this didn't just make us
Tell me,
scream
Rhonda!
for years and years and years. When we first saw it, we had to keep watching it over and over again. It gave us... I think it could be beef.
I think it could be beef.
I think it could be beef.
I don't know if it's beef, Carl.
But beef sounds right.
I'm not sure that it's beef, Carl, but beef sounds right.
Maya Rudolph and Kristen Wiig are playing these like game
years
show.
upon years of chicken.
Years after years of chicken.
Imagine years after years after years of chicken.
The other one that we kind of say is when they did the Kardashians, and again Kristen Wiig pops up and just says, Four sisters.
Four sisters.
So, like, if Shah will do something because she wants, like, followers or something, we'll just look at each other and go, "Four sisters."
I also
so
don't know if we've
stupid.
done this on the channel, but we quote a lot.
Oh, don't make me sing.
Don't make me sing.
Oh, don't make me sing.
Oh, don't make me sing.
I hope you're enjoying the Clams Casino.
I hope you're enjoying the Clams Casino.
Where'd you get these? And better have the other half of the almond.
God, I hope someone walks up soon so I can say welcome to Target. I just want to say welcome to Target. I just want to say welcome to Target to somebody. Welcome to Target!
There's one that I reference quite a lot on my podcast, which is only on Patreon, but because that's where we put the poll, a lot of them asked what it was. And I feel like I might have said it once or twice on the channel.
What's that?
It's...
Anyway, I got a fax earlier about cheap airfare to Cancun. I didn't know if that was you trying to reach me.
something about cheap flights to Cancun. Wasn't sure if that was you trying to reach me.
What's that?
It's Family Guy. It's just... Whenever I
don't know that one.
whenever my trail of thought goes and I'm like, oh, What was I thinking? There was some messages on my machine. Something about cheap flights to Cancun. I wasn't sure if that was you trying to reach me. That's Brian in Family Guy. He's basically so obsessed with this woman, he keeps calling her. And she doesn't call him back. And that's when he said there was something on my machine about cheap flights to Cancun. I wasn't sure if it was you trying to reach me. Obviously it wasn't. It was just some kind of fucking cold caller.
That's so funny.
But that's where that's from. Amy Winehouse has got 2 on here.
I hate you, Dido. Dido will kill you.
Dido will kill you.
Hey, you Dido! Don't vote for Dido! Dido will kill you!
That was, I don't even know what the fuck that was on. It was on Pop World or something. It's this dude driving Amy Winehouse around London when she's nominated at the same time as Dido for probably a Brit Award. And she goes and throws rocks at this billboard with Dido on it. I hate you, Dido! And she's on a megaphone in the car. Vote Amy Winehouse! Dido will kill you! It's classic. She was so fucking funny.
So there's that, and then we also reference, is it 8 out of 10 Cats that she was on?
Never Mind the Buzzcocks.
Yeah. She was on Never Mind the Buzzcocks, and it's quite, for those who are fans of Amy, it's quite like an infamous appearance.
She was so sick of Simon Amstel, and Simon Amstel kept making jokes.
No, Simon.
No, Simon.
No, Simon.
Amy, you're not having a good time.
Yes, Simon.
I am having a billboard time.
Before he gets home, apparently he calls his wife ahead and asks her to put the lights down and roll the smoke out for when he gets in. I don't know if it's true.
I heard that.
I really don't like it, Kath.
I really don't like it, Kath.
Oh yes, Nighty Night is another British sort of sitcom-y show. There's 2 seasons of it. I would say only watch the 2nd season if you really have nothing to watch, because the first season's far superior.
And she's just fucking rude to everyone. She's the most selfish person ever.
Hiya, Kath.
Hey, Kath. And someone bought her a present.
Oh, if it's all the same to you, I'd actually rather have the equivalent in cash.
I'd rather just have the cash. You want the cash? Okay, fine. This one is... People never have any idea. We get this, probably, people message us for this one more than anything else. And it's Michelle Gomez.
Psycho bitches.
Just gonna
Just get me the medicine.
That's me away now.
That's me away now.
Just gonna give me the pills.
Just gonna give me the meds. And then
pills.
the joke is that the therapist...
She speaks to dead women from history.
Yes, and she can't understand her because her accent is so Scottish. And she takes the piss. So she just kind of sits there and all she wants is pills. And this woman is trying to get to the bottom of her problems. And she said, if your anger was a shape... And she goes, get to fuck. I'm sorry, what? Get to fuck. Get to fuck. But then she's like, just gonna give me the meds, isn't it? Just gonna. So we...
Describe yourself in 5 words. Go fuck yourself. Cunt.
There's a couple in here that I think people said we need to put in, but they're probably quite obvious. One of them is, I love putting in, is Felicity Huffman playing Lynette Scarvo in Desperate Housewives.
Who cares? Who cares?
I think the first time I ever used that was when we did the drawing the cartoons, and I tried to make a stylus for my phone. I have made a stylus for this.
Who cares?
That's quite an intense scene because it's like the hostage scene in Desperate.
But it's a great clip.
It's Desperate Housewives, but that's what that is if you weren't sure about Lynette Scarvo shouting who cares. Back to Never Mind the Buzzcocks. We should have done that earlier.
Oh, is this Jamelia?
Is Jamelia talking about Javine?
No, but she is a slag though.
No, but she really is a slag though.
How could you say such a thing?
No, she really is a slag though.
It would just be one of those things where having a conversation, it could be completely deadpan. All of a sudden, someone just goes, "No, but she really is a slag doll." And this is Jamelia talking about a pop star. She represented us at Eurovision one year. Javine. She was on.
She was
Pop Stars, The Rivals, but Jamelia just called her a slag, and they said, "How could you say that?" And she just goes, "No, but she really is a slag doll." And people thought it was so funny.
It's like match to me, Javine.
Oh, okay, I've never heard of her.
Really quickly, there's one that I like using quite... I've taken to using it a fair amount recently. And it's just a woman going, "What are you doing?"
What are you doing?
What? I don't remember But it's bloopers from a show, an Australian sketch show that's really, really old. I think it predates Kath and Kim.
Oh, was
might
this
even be
Big
what
Girl's Blouse?
it's called. Fast Forward. It might even be what Kath and Kim came out of. I can't remember. But it's Magda. Oh no, it's not Magda. Mag Downey. I'm thinking of Magda Shabansky. The actress is called Mag Downey. She played Marion on Kath and Kim. So she was on this show, and it's from the bloopers of her doing this sketch where she just turns to these two assholes and says, "What are you doing?" But she can't keep doing it. Like, she tries to keep getting this line out, but she keeps cracking up because she just turns so seriously and she's facing these two sort of dickheads staring at her.
What are you doing?
Speaking of, these are also kind of linked. Pop stars, the rivals. Nadine Coyle. Well, this was pre that.
Again, like, I feel like this is a very well-known gay, like, clip amongst, like, the gays.
Everyone uses this. It's not just stars, but it's Nadine Coyle on...
when she can't find her passport on
Pop Stars in Ireland, when she'd lied about her age.
She says, what's the date of birth that she gives?
15th of the 6th, 85.
85. Making me a Gemini.
Date of birth 15th of the 6th, 85. Making me a Gemini.
Wait, what
date of birth did I say it loud just now?
And, what date of birth did I say now?
While the cameras were off. And it's basically like she's lied about her age to get into this band. And she keeps lying.
Can I have my passport?
If you're relaying to me, you tell me just now.
I think I give her the wrong date of birth. I think I give her...
Have you got your passport with you?
No, should have it with me.
Nadine still seems confused about her date of birth.
Yes.
I would. Can I see your passport? Oh, I should have it. And then she fakes. She fakes looking for this passport because she knows good goddamn well where it is, or she hasn't got it. Well, the cameras were out of the room.
1992 or something?
56 or 57 or... Okay, so before we carry on with today's... What do you even call this? It's not even appropriate for anything, ever. We're going to take a second to talk about the sponsor for today's video. And this video is brought to you today by Manscaped. No! Yep. They offer the best tools and liquid formulations for, Nova, your problem bits.
I don't have any, I wouldn't know.
Your bum.
My bum.
So Manscaped have very kindly sent us their all-in-one Performance Package 4. There's a lot of
so
bits
much
in here.
So first up, we wanted to show you the Lawn Mower 4 body trimmer.
So this is Manscaped's 4th generation electric waterproof trimmer with advanced skin-safe technology. So it reduces the chance that you're going to, like, cut yourself.
Yeah, I hate that.
Scrotum.
Just don't say scrotum to me.
So also included in the Performance Package 4, we've got 2 things here that we didn't know we needed these until now. Did you know that?
Ball toner, anti-chafing, ball deodorant.
So basically the ball deodorant provides an all-day long deodorant against odour, musty ball odour.
Ball toner, what does this do?
So this mist is like an aloe mist that just provides you with a quick freshen up if you're at a restaurant and you've got 5 minutes to kill before the entree arrives. Also, look at this. It's the Weed Whacker. This is for ear hair as well, although I don't believe I'm old enough to have ear hair yet.
I'm definitely getting there. So if you go to manscaped.com today, you'll get 20% off, plus free international shipping, plus 2 free gifts if you use our promo code Novympia.
Thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring this video. You're absolute diamonds.
Cheers,
This fish is delicious. What is this fish?
It is chicken.
It is chicken.
There is a fantastic show. What is the actress's name? She's in the Marvel, the MCU as well.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is the is in Veep.
And she plays the Vice President of the United States, and it's just a fantastic show. But there is a storyline in one of the seasons where she is meeting with the Prime Minister of Finland, who is played by...
It's Sally Phillips, yeah.
Sally Phillips, who you probably know from Bridget Jones.
Yes.
She's been in a bunch of other stuff as well.
Who we have it on this list?
She's very iconic character in Bridget Jones. And they're all at this very fancy dinner, and it's just very awkward because they've offended the Finnish people several times before. One of the VP's aides says, "Oh, this fish is amazing. What fish is this?" And the Prime Minister of Finland turns around and she goes,
"It is chicken."
But that's the only one from Veep on there. But Sally Phillips, weirdly enough, was also in Bridget Jones, who we'll get to in a bit, but also was on Smack the Pony.
Oh my gosh, of course she was.
Yes. We've done this a couple of times, but it is so obscure that it rarely ever makes sense. But there's one sketch called
Girly Driver,
where she's in a video game, but she's just like really scatty woman driving crap car in a video game. You have selected the yellow one. But she drives in this race, and she's on the phone. No, sorry, I can't.
I'm in a race.
I can't talk. I'm in a race.
Hi, yeah, no, I can't really talk. I'm in a race.
And then she stops to go to Marks and Spencer's. So how many times we will just turn to each other and go, Marks and Spencer's.
Marks and Spencer's.
And if we're pulling up legitimately at some kind of shop and we get out, one of us will say, might get a jumper if we get a nice one.
Get a nice one.
Get a nice
one, yeah.
Might get a top actually if I get a nice one.
There's a couple of French and Saunders ones in here. This is so weird. It's such a full circle moment. It's French and Saunders parodying Most Haunted, which is even the words, the Tower of London.
Even the words, the Tower of London.
Chills to the spines of many.
Blood-curdling creams.
Blood-curdling creams. If we reference that, it's accepted that you know how the rest of it goes. So you literally just start with even the words, the Tower of London. And it's the way she speaks as well. It's not London, it's London. It's very Lisa Scott Lee. I'm a mum. Funky mums.
I'm just as hot, don't you tell me I'm not.
I'm just as hot, don't you tell me I'm not. Which is a spoof of the Britney and Madonna video. Just the whole Madonna verse is...
Come see what I can do with a pole. Yeah, that's a great one.
Hey Britney, look what I can do with a pole.
What is it you want to know?
What do you want to know?
Mind your own business.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Cut to her all the time. It's Julie Walters on the Graham Norton show, and she randomly decides that she doesn't want to play ball anymore.
She's just going to be a dick for no reason.
Graham Norton says, Julie Walters, and she goes, what?
Julie Walters?
What?
Did you meet your...
And he says, well, you met your husband in a nightclub, didn't you? And she goes,
Mind your own business.
and he's like, the whole concept of a chat show just disintegrating in front of us.
That's such a good impression of Graham Norton.
Fucking good that she's sitting there with a glass of wine and she's like, I've answered enough questions, just piss off. Let it burn. That's Peggy from EastEnders.
There's a lot of EastEnders quotes that Shah does, but she will rewatch EastEnders today, and I just don't know half of them.
Peggy looks back at the pub on fire and she goes, let it burn. And we said that, I feel like when we left the old Heights, when we left it to go on holiday, we would say that one. That's where that's from.
Say goodbye to the Heights. Oh, goodbye. Let it burn.
No, baby, no.
No, baby, no.
It's Nicole Scherzinger on
That's
The X
a great
Factor.
one. Yeah.
That's, again, I feel like a lot of people say that. That's not just us. That's a very British gay thing. When that chick came out again and she'd already been told no, but she brings her dad with her.
Oh, God.
So Nicole just goes, no, baby, no. Great one. And the last one in TV is Your Father Werner.
Was a burger server in suburban Santa Barbara.
That's SNL, isn't it?
No, that's 30 Rock.
Oh, okay.
It's Rachel Dratch talking to Jane Krakowski. She's being interviewed by Rachel Dratch, who's playing Barbara Walters. And because obviously Barbara Walters has that very kind of Barbara Walters voice.
I'm sorry, what?
When he spurned your mother Verna.
For a curly-haired surfer named Roberta.
Did that hurt her?
And it's
excellent.
It's another
writing.
one, though, that you don't have to do the whole thing. Sometimes Shah will reference Never Wears Prada, and if she does something funny, no, I'm still learning about this stuff, she'll do the entire thing, and it gets really jarring after a while, because it's like, we know you can do it. But with Your Father Werner, you don't have to do the whole thing, you can just say that, and then you know exactly what it is.
Shah now will do something funny, and we'll go, no, nothing funny,
Simon.
no, Simon.
Hey, you're done.
Okay, let's move on to movies. The bum. People asked about the bum coming down the pole. It's Bridget Jones from the first Bridget Jones, which also gave us Come the Fuck On, Bridget.
Come the fuck on, Bridget.
Come the fuck on, Bridget.
And from Bridget Jones 2, No, I'm Bridget Jones.
No, I'm Bridget Jones.
And that setup is literally the woman says, opens the door, looks at her, Rebecca Gillies.
She goes, Bridget Jones.
Bridget Jones. And then for some weird reason, Bridget goes, No, I'm Bridget Jones. So fucking funny, it's stupid. The screaming woman going, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is from Serial Mom.
Serial Mom is our favourite movie.
Yeah.
If you've not seen it, please, if you're going to listen to anything we ever tell you, watch Serial Mom.
It's just a black comedy about a suburban housewife who has had it and she just snaps, basically.
And she just kills everyone.
It's brilliant. It's so camp. The scene that we quote, oh yeah, I mean, we quote a lot from that movie, but that is in particular because she is really fucking horny because she's just murdered someone. And she's like really in the mood. So her and her husband are having sex and he's saying like, oh, want the kids here? Like, be quiet.
And she purposefully gets louder
because
so the
she wants
kids
them to hear.
Oh, yeah.
We are talking to Phil Collins, people.
We are talking to Phil Collins's people, right?
But then again...
Aren't we all?
Yeah, that, and ladies and gentlemen, do you like the pelt?
Ladies and gentlemen, do you like the pelt?
Just two throwaway things. They make no... I used to do, we're talking to Phil Collins people on, like, if we did, like, our weekly Zoom call.
Oh, yes. And everyone would be like, what are you talking about?
If everyone said, like, they'd be like, oh my God, Howie, what have you done this week? And we'd be like, well, we are talking to Phil Collins people. But then again, aren't we all? And they'd just be like, every week they've been talking to Phil Collins. What does it mean? It's from Hedwig and the Angry Inch. It's an incredible musical.
Yeah.
No, but what is that? No, but
what is that?
No, but what is that?
No, but what is that? No, what is that though?
No, but what is that?
That one we throw in quite a lot, as well as, you look like my old doggy Buffy.
You look like my old doggy Buffy.
That is from The Sweetest Thing, which is just a rom-com from, is it like late 90s, early noughties?
I think it's like 2004 or 2 or something.
Also
early.
great, just throwaway, like brilliant rom-com.
Oh, it's so fucking good. It's really, really underrated. Even though it's got Cameron Diaz in it, who kind of sucks. Like, it's so fucking funny. Flames on the side of my face, burning, heaving.
Flames on the side of my face, breathing, heaving breath.
Is from Clue. If it ever cuts to a group of people standing in a hallway, it's probably Clue.
There's another one that you use from that, but look what happened
To the cock.
Mrs. White's scream. Ah! It's from that. Mrs. Peacock, I am determined to enjoy myself.
I'm determined to enjoy myself.
To be honest, Clue is literally a movie of quotes. It's just line after line after line is so good. Pecker!
What is that one from?
So that's from Austin Powers. I can't remember if it's the first one or the second one, but I will say every once in a while, do you remember that summer where I couldn't stop shouting Pecker? Do you remember that?
Pecker!
And I used to walk around the house and something took over me. Something would possess me. Pecker! Listen, it's not my fault.
Lasagna tends to disagree with my bowels. I'll ask for a small portion.
I'll ask for a small portion.
Oh, I like that one.
I'll ask for a small portion is from Notes on Scandal, which is Judi Dench and Cate Blanchett movie where they're teachers and Cate Blanchett like fucks one of the kids. It's great. It sounds horrendous, but Shara and I quote that to each other all the time. You want to roll around on the floor like lovers? You want to fuck me, Barbara?
Fuck me, Barbara.
You want to roll around the floor like lovers? You want to fuck me, Barbara?
And then the last one is you've come to cabinet unprepared.
Which one's that?
You've come to cabinet unprepared.
Gentlemen, as the Lord President has chosen to come to Cabinet unprepared...
Is from The Iron Lady.
Oh.
Is Meryl Streep as Margaret Thatcher, and she says, coming to cabinet unprepared. But that usually is how we start a video, because one of us will have fucked something.
Yeah.
And you've come to cabinet unprepared. Okay, so if we're going to move on to miscellaneous now, we're going to start with Angela Lansbury. This
I never tried wallpaper. I did once in a house in Ireland. On the ceiling.
On the ceiling.
There's a website called Everything is Terrible, and they produce, I don't know if they say how active they are anymore, but they produce these kind of videos that they grab them from like the 80s
Just like
archives.
vintage video clips, and they just like dick around with them.
And then Angela Lansbury produced a VHS in the 80s, and it was a self-help kind of guide. And they've taken this VHS...
It was like skincare and like meditation and exercise, just like wellness, like a wellness guide.
They've taken this video and they've taken certain clips. There's a clip of her saying abreast, which I don't know what the hell is the actual line, but they repeat it over and over again. So if we're talking sort of randomly about something and it gets to a certain pitch that sounds similar, the other one will just go breast to breast to breast to breast to breast. It's so stupid. But there's so many from that, isn't there? Easy.
Oh yeah.
Soft and natural.
Oh yeah, you do that all the time.
That's the whole idea here.
You want them to look soft and natural. That's the whole idea here.
That's Donna Mills' The Eyes Have It, which is another one of those VHS 80s things. I think that was featured in a beatdown, wasn't it? Willem's beatdown.
I don't remember.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
When you throw my voice about.
I don't like it.
This is very obscure, I think, outside of Australia.
So this is a character called Pauline Pantsdown. It's very famous in Australia, but it's this one dude, I don't know what his name is, but he parodies Pauline Hanson, who is a very, very right-wing Australian politician who's widely hated. And she was in an interview once where the interviewer said, "Do you think you could be considered as xenophobic?" And she didn't know what it meant, and she went, "Please explain." And obviously people were just like, this woman is fucking atrocious. So this guy's done this video. It's very, very famous. My language has been murdered. My shopping trolley, murdered. It's like a cassette boy kind of thing. Let's take a second now in the miscellaneous category to talk about Jerry Halliwell.
Oh my gosh. Rainbow Woman.
Rainbow Burke. I mean, Rainbow Woman, we splice her in all the time. It's a series she did on her YouTube channel where...
We filmed that before the coronavirus outbreak.
Coronavirus outbreak.
We filmed that before the coronavirus outbreak.
We like to put her in. If you're not sure who she is, she's Ginger Spice, but nowadays she's a bit kind of weird.
Jerry Horner.
But also, no rhythm.
No rhythm.
Sweet Jesus.
Sweet Jesus.
This was originally shown to us by the Vivian, wasn't it?
We were in Lincoln or somewhere and she kept walking around saying, "I can smell burning."
And we were, eventually, it was a few nights and she kept saying that. Eventually we were like, what is that from?
Why did she keep saying, "I can smell burning"? Like, are you having a stroke? And she was like, "Oh girl, have you not seen that video?" We were just like, no, obviously not, because we have no idea what you're talking about. But when she showed it us, and again, we'll throw it out, it's someone sticking their face over Cilla Black doing Sweet Brown. So they're doing an impression of Cilla Black,
but reading the lines of that Sweet Brown viral video.
I thought I smelled afar. Texting on a date.
Texting on a date.
Luann
Money
Delesseps.
can't buy your class.
Elegance is love. Luann Delesseps is a cast member on The Real Housewives of New York City. She's very well known for her forays into music and cabaret, which are, I mean, if you look them up on YouTube, not well received.
She's a former countess and really clings to the title, and people generally call her out for being a hypocrite because she wrote a book about class and etiquette and seems to forget class and etiquette.
I've got a question for you now.
What?
Are you ready for a little chat?
Not this.
And a song about the internet.
It's a story about a social door you've never seen before.
Are you ready for a social door you've never seen before? So this clip was real hot with us like a couple of months ago, maybe more Eurovision time.
Yeah.
The woman's name is Valentina Monetta and she's represented San Marino, that's where she's from.
The serene state of San Marino.
The most serene state.
Apologies.
Of San Marino. Tiny, tiny country within Italy. It's like an enclave country. But she's represented them, I think, 4 times because there's not many people there. She once entered a song which she called the Facebook song and then had to change to the social network song because you can't enter like songs about brands.
And they replaced the word Facebook with just,
Are you ready for the little chat?
And it's honest. I don't understand who. It's like a song for children.
It flames.
One of the lines is, "Do you want to play cyber sex again?" That was a clip we use all the time. Was, "Are you ready for a little chat?"
You get out of here.
You get out of here. It's Kristen Wiig and Will Ferrell. And they're presenting an award. I can't remember where it is. They're going through the best pictures because they pretended to watch them, but they clearly have no idea what they're about. So that they give a synopsis.
Oh, and they start, I remember
each of the synopses are kind of the same because at the end they'll say, and someone burst in and say, "You get out of here." I feel?
This is going to sound really silly, but I feel really sexy.
This is going to sound really silly, but I feel really sexy.
And
I think that's just...
This was a viral video in, I don't know if it was, I guess all over the world, but it was this poor fucking cow who dressed up so nice and she
I think
looked
she
lovely.
was wearing heels for like the first time in a long time, and she's not really used to wearing heels. So she's walking down the street and she's talking about like, this is gonna sound really silly, but I feel really sexy. And then she falls
over with the cat. It's so fucking funny because bless her, she'd put the effort in and she deserved to feel sexy. That's the kind of like lovely thing about it, is she was like this queen who was like, you know what? It's gonna sound silly, but I feel sexy. And it was like a kind of an empowering moment, which just gets completely undercut by the fact that she eats shit. Now, Percy, listen.
This is what I...
World of Wonder used to do a series called Dudes in Drag, and it was Vicky Vox and Kelly Mantle.
And they were just like,
they were on like
walk around the street in Hollywood.
They grabbed guys in. I mean, I'm sure they were like pre-selected, but they grabbed them, they put them in drag, and they'd make them do these tasks for like money on like, I think it was, I don't know if it was Santa Monica Boulevard, where it was, somewhere in Hollywood.
Hollywood Boulevard.
It was this one episode where they decided to call this guy Pussy Paulette. And Kelly Mantle starts the little segment and she goes, now, Pussy, listen. And she tries to carry on, but she cracks herself up because she's referring to this like really uncomfortable guy in this like shit wig being called Pussy Paulette.
Now, Pussy, listen. This is what I'm gonna...
Not another one! Oh, honestly.
I can't
stand this.
You're joking. Not another one? Oh, for God's sake, I can't stand this.
Again, this is not us at all. This is very, very infamous.
Yeah.
One chick who was being asked about
another election. Yeah.
And there was
what do you feel about... Yeah, there was a real like bad case of people getting like voter fatigue because there was
like 5 votes in a row, whatever the fuck it was.
There was 2 general elections, there was like a local election, there was Brexit, and it was all really, really close together. And somebody said to this woman like, oh, what do you think about the election next week? She goes,
not another one?
What, another one?
Not another one? No, honestly, I can't stand all this. And she went viral out of the fact that she really kind of like got the mood of the country being like, not another one. So people say that all the time now. That's a real Shah really clung on to her.
It's very, very sexy.
It's very, very sexy.
It's very, very sexy.
This is one of the most niche ones on here.
This is a YouTube video of an Asian lady basically showing off a durian. A durian is a massive fruit. It looks a little bit like a conker because it's
like
kind
a
of
giant
like
lychee.
Yeah, it's kind of got like a really, really tough, leathery, spiky exterior. And then inside it has like a pale flesh. And she's basically showing how to crack it open and just showing it off because like in the UK, we might not have seen this before.
You can get them here, but it's very popular fruit in Thailand, I think.
You wouldn't find it in a supermarket, maybe an Asian supermarket or like a very well-stocked greengrosers.
But I feel like we went through a phase where we were really curious about this durian. It's just this video that we found one time, probably because we were looking up, but she just starts opening.
She cracks it open and she goes, it's very, very sexy.
Kind of sexy.
It's very, very sexy.
People have asked about scone-faced, which is not...
That's just a general thing, isn't it?
It's a general... It's not really, no, because it comes from... I say this word all the time to just mean generally kind of like pissed off.
Yeah.
I was scone-faced. But it actually comes from Tina Fey's autobiography, Bossypants. And she's telling a story about this Irish girl she was at a party with, who got really angry and started throwing people out. And she said from then on it was referred to as an Irish goodnight. But she was like, after so long, she was still standing there, scone-faced.
One of the drunk girls from the Archbishop Prendergast side of the party wandered into the Showtime room and started making out with Alexis Catalano. Everybody froze. Patty looked on, scone-faced.
What else have we got?
Me and my magic pussy!
Just me and my magic pussy!
This is Melissa Joan Hart doing a Funny or Die sketch. It's a bit of a parody and it's like somebody's meeting her after the success of Sabrina. And are they doing like a bit of
Salem. She's meeting Salem for lunch.
Oh, okay.
So Melissa Joan Hart obviously played Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the original kind of intonation of that. The joke is that it's like Melissa meeting Salem for lunch, but Salem refers to her as Sabrina and she goes, what did you just call me? And he's like, I know you want to do it again. She's like, we can't. We're in a public place. We can't do this. And she gets up, and all of a sudden she's got magic. And she just
magic.
She throws a cup at someone.
And she's just hysterical, and then she goes,
Just me and my magic pussy!
But me and my magic pussy, I said it once, and your sister was there. This is kind of where this, you can see the evolution of this. Your sister was there, and she was kind of really affronted. She was like, what did you just say that for? And I didn't explain it. I just went, me and my magic pussy! And she was like, what is happening? Stop shouting, it's so gross. So whereas it's the same as Lisa Scott-Lee, no, it's evolved from just being me and my magic pussy to pussy.
It's like really violent.
Me and my magic pussy. And then we've got the Novympia Originals. So we'll do the old what lady last because I feel like
she's probably the most requested.
These are quite quick. So Peanuts.
I still don't know. Oh, that was the air hostess.
So we were going to Florida, and I'm sat next to Megan Robinson, and I said, I'm going to try and nap. I really hope the air hostess doesn't come along, tap me on the shoulder, and just go, Peanuts!
Because we all want to go to sleep and wake up in Florida. I don't want her to walk past and tap me on the shoulder and go, Peanuts!
A couple of people commented on it with like, Peanuts, and I was just like, it's not even that, it's not a reference to anything. I literally just said Peanuts once, and now people apparently love Peanut. It's such a weird thing. The girl who put the doll in her butt.
I'm really unhappy.
True story.
I don't want to hear this story again. I feel like you've told it twice on this channel already.
This is the definitive last time we're going to talk about it. I used to be friends with someone, and his and her little sister used to shove a doll up her ass. That's literally it. There's no story to it. And, you know, I didn't really see that family again.
I'm really not happy.
I don't know what happened to her. I don't know what happened to her or the doll. You've met Steve.
Oh God, this is an Olympia original.
I once thought someone looked like my Uncle Steve. I have an Uncle Steve. I thought this person looked like him. When I said at the time he looks like my Uncle Steve, everyone else was like, we don't know, no one knows who that is. Like nobody knows.
Like, this
so
is,
why announce
who cares?
That? Who the fuck cares? Who cares?
Who cares?
And then it happened a few times after that, but it was always with Steve, and I was like, oh, he looks like my Uncle. And people were like, stop saying this, that everyone looks like. No, they can't all look like. But then one time,
then a couple of years ago,
Nova met Steve.
We were at a family event, and I actually met Steve. So now you can be like, you've met Steve.
So for a while, I just purposefully did it. Like some fucking like leggy blonde woman would walk out and say, oh, she looks like Uncle Steve. You've met Steve. The very last one it's the old what lady. And people ask me this question all the time. If someone sees us in a bar and they sort of come up to us and say hi, they'll say, can you do old what? So it's it's not a reference to a movie or anything.
No, it's a personal
She's a real
story,
person.
isn't it?
The old what lady is a real person who exists. Well, she might have passed on now, I don't know, because this was a while ago and she was quite old. But when I used to be a manager of a shoe shop. And she was a sort of lady that would come in once or twice a week because you know that an elderly lady of, you know, she must have been 80 at least. They base their whole week around it, don't they? They like a bit of social interaction.
Yeah.
So going into a shop to talk to someone is really a big deal, whereas we would just like not give a shit. So she would always come in and I would just be like, hi, how are you? And she would never... She was always so keen to get to the chat. She would never be like, oh, hey, right, darling, whatever. She'd immediately get into, oh, I've just been down the council. And you'd be like, oh, fuck's sake. Oh, right. Oh, what's happened then? She'd be like, oh, well.
Was she the kind of person that you kind of like fight over who's going to go and serve her?
Yeah, it's a bit like that, yeah. I don't know if anyone else is kind of like aware of this or not, but obviously old people like to complain a lot.
Yeah.
So the flavour of her stories was always kind of underpinned with that this was shit. Oh, God. 50p to like park my scooter or whatever. Oh, I'm overdue on a library. Everything was a moan, every single thing. So in order to kind of like make it a social occasion that like would be worthwhile, you would complain with her. You'd be like, oh, those bastards, I can't believe it. What? And I would kind of like volley backwards and forwards. And if she said, oh God, it's absolutely pissing down outside. And I'd be like, oh yeah, and it was hailing overnight as well. She'd go, oh, what? And it wasn't like an oh what as in, what are you talking about? It was a, I know, I'm agreeing with you kind of thing.
Like,
what? Like, oh, what? And she'd say this at every single thing you'd say back to her. She would reply with, oh, what? And after a while, I used to actually really enjoy her coming in because I'd say to like this chick, like M, who I worked with, I'd be like, she's here, you'll see what I mean. Just listen. And I'd start talking to the old what lady, and after 5 minutes, I'd turn around and Em would be crying with laughter. Because all I'd have to do is if she said like, oh, the bin men didn't get me bins. And I would be like, yeah,
Didn't do mine either.
They're slowing down on picking up like the green bins. So I'd just go, oh, wow. And then I'd turn around and she'd be in the background like 7, 8, she'd be counting. So that's the old what lady, she just always say it. Whether she's still alive now, I don't know. And I feel like I probably wouldn't even recognise her anymore, but she's always in my heart, the old what lady. So that's her. So we've reached... This was a lot to finish.
I feel like this is going to be a really long video.
No, we'll cut a load out. This is the Volume 1 Definitive Guide to Novympia references.
This is everything we could think of off the top of our heads, and more or less everything that was suggested to us on Patreon. If there's anything that we have said before that you really want to know the origin of that we haven't covered here, let us know in the comments and we'll add it to Volume 2, because I'm sure in like 6 months' time or a year's time...
There'll be more. If you'd like to be involved in all the discussions over on the Patreon, there'll be a message afterwards. We should just do the noise though. That's not even a reference, but I like when Nova does that.
What? Oh.
Ow! That's what you do.
Yeah. Do you want me to do it again?
Well, yeah. Ow!
Thank you so much to Nigeria for, not the country, the person.
Oh no, I'm a bit frightened. Oh. That was a
doubt. Oh, was that a doubt?
So this gentleman we had to ask him for his birthday several times because we missed it.
But happy belated birthday to David. I hope you had a lovely birthday.
David Olshanitsky. Happy birthday, darling. You mean the world to us.
Now we got there in the end.
Now we fucking know.
What?
Also, Camo, it was your birthday, October 13th. Happy birthday, darling.
Happy birthday, Cam.
October 14th was Jenny. Happy birthday, doll.
Happy birthday, Jenny. And then October 15th we had Dean. Happy birthday. And on the 18th was Morgan. Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, guys. And then on the 21st, we've got 4 birthdays on October 21st.
Gosh, we have.
We've got Kate O and Sarah Duncan.
Pooper Scooper, not a fan of that name. And Hart Lewis.
So happy birthday to the 4 of you.
Happy birthday, guys.
That's it. We're going to go... What time is it? Oh, no.
Are we just going to order something?
Yeah.
That's like the height of laziness, because we actually have ready meals in the freezer.
Yeah, but there's
for
no
a
garlic
filming
bread.
day to be lazy. But
first of all, there's no garlic bread, so there's nothing to sop it up with.
That's true.
Here's also
what? What just happened then?
Jesus is a biscuit. She was so sweet. I wonder what happened to her. Stop shouting.
She transitioned, didn't she?
Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
Into a biscuit. My son is a biscuit.
My son is a biscuit.
That's one as well.
That is one.
Quickly, EastEnders. My son is a biscuit. Yeah, all right, bye then.
And a magic pussy to our brand new patrons. Barkery Roxette, Stuart Mitchell, Will Harrison, The Poodle, Benjamin Hill, Abel McNamara, Eric Barrow, Sonic Phantom, Samantha Ross, Mo Connor 834, Kieran JC, Jack Thompson, Sean Porter, Shawnee Hendricks and Alex Venzel.
It's evolved from just being Neo Magic Pussy to
It's like really violent.
Neo Magic Pussy.
Join the Patron, we'll do a shot of Patron.